Hey Libra, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, what came through is something I need to share right away because this reading feels incredibly significant. The energy around you right now is about major transformation and new beginnings that are actively moving in your direction. So let me walk you through what the cards revealed. I started this reading by asking what Libra needs to know about the powerful shifts happening in their life right now. And the first card that came out was the Tower. Now I know this card gets a reputation for being scary, but here is what I am seeing for you specifically. The Tower is actually showing me that there has been, or is currently happening, a complete dismantling of old structures in your life that were never meant to last. This is not about destruction for the sake of chaos. This is about liberation. Think about it this way. Sometimes we build our lives on foundations that we thought were solid. Maybe relationships that felt secure, career paths that seemed stable, or belief systems we inherited rather than chose. The Tower comes in when those structures have served their purpose and need to come down so something more authentic can be built. For you, Libra, this card is telling me that whatever has been falling apart recently was actually holding you back from your true potential. I am seeing that you might have been in a situation where you were maintaining peace at the expense of your own growth. You are the sign of balance and harmony. But sometimes that desire for equilibrium keeps you in situations that are fundamentally imbalanced. The Tower is that lightning bolt moment where the universe says enough is enough. What I find really interesting here is the timing of this card appearing first in your reading. It suggests that the clearing has either just happened or is in its final stages. The debris is settling and you are starting to see the ground beneath your feet again. This is not a warning card in your reading. This is a confirmation card. It is saying yes, that needed to happen, and yes, you're going to be okay. Actually, you're going to be better than okay. The specific energy I am picking up around the Tower for you involves sudden realizations about people or situations. Like you might have had this moment recently where you suddenly saw something clearly that you had been avoiding or making excuses for. Maybe someone showed you who they really were, or maybe you had a realization about your own patterns that you could not unsee once you saw it. The Tower brings that kind of clarity, brutal but necessary. What makes this particularly powerful for Libra right now is that your ruling planet, Venus, has been moving through some intense territory, and this Tower moment is actually connected to your evolution around self-worth and what you will or will not tolerate anymore. I am seeing that whatever came crashing down was directly tied to you starting to value yourself more highly. The old version of you might have tried to save it, fix it, or compromise your way through it. But something shifted in you, and when that internal shift happened, the external structures that did not match your new frequency just could not stand anymore. Here is something else about the Tower that I think is crucial for you to understand right now. This card often brings with it a sense of relief once the initial shock passes. Yes, change is uncomfortable, and yes, loss is painful, even when it is necessary. But there is also this feeling of finally being free from something that was draining your energy. I am getting the sense that you might have been holding up something or someone for a long time, playing the role of peacekeeper or mediator, and the Tower is releasing you from that burden. You do not have to hold it together anymore. You do not have to be the one who fixes everything. The structure fell, and now you get to decide what you want to build in its place. And this time you get to build it according to your own values and desires, not according to what keeps everyone else comfortable. The second card that came through is Five of Swords. And this one is really interesting because it is adding another layer to your story. The Five of Swords often shows up when there's been some kind of conflict or battle and somebody walked away. What I am seeing here is that you might have recently been in a situation where you had to stand up for yourself in a way that felt uncomfortable. Libra, you are not naturally confrontational. You prefer diplomacy and finding middle ground. But the Five of Swords is showing me that there was a moment where you had to choose yourself, even if it meant someone else was unhappy about it. Even if it meant being seen as the difficult one or the one who would not compromise. What is fascinating about this card appearing after the Tower is that it is showing the human element of the breakthrough. The Tower was the cosmic event, the big shift that cleared the way. The Five of Swords is you navigating the aftermath and realizing that not everyone is going to be happy about your growth. Some people benefited from you staying small. From you being the accommodating Libra who always said yes, who always kept the peace, who always put their needs last. When you started changing that dynamic, when you started setting boundaries or speaking your truth or walking away from what was not serving you, there was conflict. The Five of Swords tells me you won that battle, but it might not feel like a traditional victory because there is loss involved too. I am seeing specifically that there might be someone in your life who is bitter about your transformation. Maybe they tried to make you feel guilty for changing, or they accused you of being selfish, or they attempted to pull you back into old patterns by manipulating your natural desire for harmony. The Five of Swords is showing me that you held your ground. You picked up your swords, which represent your truth and your boundaries, and you walked away. You let them have their perspective, you let them stay in their energy, and you chose to move forward without them. This takes incredible strength for a Libra because your instinct is to go back and try to smooth things over, to explain yourself one more time, to find a way to make everyone happy, including the people who are determined to misunderstand you. But here is what the Five of Swords wants you to know. You cannot win with someone who has already decided you are the enemy. You cannot reason with someone who benefits from your confusion. And you cannot maintain a relationship with someone who requires you to shrink for their comfort. This card is validating that walking away was the right choice, even if it was painful. Even if there is a part of you that still feels guilty or wonders if you could have done something differently. The answer is no, you did what needed to be done. And the proof is in the cards that came after this one. Now the third card really shifts the energy. And this is where I started to get excited about what is coming for you. Page of Cups showed up, and this is pure new beginning energy in the emotional realm. After the destruction of the Tower and the difficult choice of the Five of Swords, the Page of Cups arrives like this gentle, hopeful messenger saying that your heart is ready to be open again. But this time it is different. This is not naivety. This is not going back to old patterns. This is a renewed capacity for love, creativity, and emotional connection that is built on the foundation of everything you just learned. The Page of Cups for you right now represents a fresh start in how you approach relationships and emotional expression. I am seeing that you went through a period where you had to protect your heart, where you had to be cautious and maybe even a little closed off because you were healing from what the Tower dismantled and what the Five of Swords represented. But now this page is showing up saying it is safe to feel again. It is safe to dream again. It is safe to be excited about possibilities again. What I love about this card for Libra is that it carries this quality of innocent wonder, but it is not the same as before. This is earned innocence. This is choosing to remain open-hearted even after you have been hurt. Choosing to believe in love even after you have seen its shadow side. I am getting the message that new people or new opportunities are about to enter your life, and they are going to feel completely different from what you have known before. The Page of Cups brings offers, it brings messages, it brings new connections that feel easy and natural. You know how sometimes you meet someone and you immediately feel like you have to perform or present a certain version of yourself? The energy coming in with this page is the opposite of that. This is about connections where you can just be yourself, where your weirdness is welcome, where your sensitivity is valued, where your need for beauty and harmony is understood rather than exploited. For some of you, this might be romantic. Like a new person entering your life who approaches you with genuine interest and respect. For others, this might be creative opportunities or friendships that feel nourishing. The Page of Cups does not always mean romance. It means emotional fulfillment in whatever form you need it most right now. What I am specifically picking up is that this new beginning is going to surprise you because it arrives without the complications you have become accustomed to. It is going to feel simple in the best way possible. Not boring simple, but refreshingly uncomplicated. No games, no hidden agendas, no having to decode mixed messages. Just genuine connection and mutual interest. The fourth card that appeared is Ten of Cups. And okay, this is where the reading really opens up into something beautiful. The Ten of Cups is literally the card of emotional fulfillment, happiness, and harmonious relationships. After everything you have been through, after the Tower tore down what was not working, after the Five of Swords required you to stand your ground, after the Page of Cups brought new possibilities, the Ten of Cups is showing me the destination. This is where you are headed. This is what all the upheaval was making space for. I need you to really take this in because the Ten of Cups does not show up lightly. This is not just okay, things will be fine. This is you are moving toward a period of genuine contentment and emotional abundance. The image on this card traditionally shows a family under a rainbow with cups arranged in the sky, representing blessings pouring down from the universe. For you, Libra, this is telling me that the life you have been dreaming about, the relationships you have been hoping for, the sense of peace and joy you have been seeking, it is not only possible, it is probable. It is coming. What makes this particularly powerful in your reading is the journey that came before it. You earned this Ten of Cups. You did not bypass the difficult work. You did not avoid the necessary endings. You did not skip the healing process. You went through the Tower, you faced the Five of Swords, you remained open with the Page of Cups, and now the Ten of Cups is the reward for your courage and authenticity. I am seeing that this card represents a complete turnaround in your emotional life. Where you might have felt lonely or misunderstood or like you were giving more than you were receiving, the Ten of Cups is showing me reciprocity. It is showing me relationships where love flows both ways, where effort is matched, where you feel celebrated rather than tolerated. For Libra specifically, the Ten of Cups is also about finally achieving that balance you are always seeking, but this time it is authentic balance. Not the kind where you sacrifice your needs to keep the peace, but the kind where everyone involved genuinely wants the best for each other. I am getting the sense that you are moving into a phase where your relationships become a source of strength rather than stress. Where coming home, whether that is to a person or to yourself, feels like relief rather than another place, where you have to perform. Now the fifth card adds an interesting element to this reading. Ace of Cups came through, and having both the Ace and the Ten of Cups in the same reading is incredibly significant. The Ace is the beginning, the Ten is the fulfillment. This tells me that you are simultaneously starting a new emotional chapter and moving toward the completion of an emotional cycle. The Ace of Cups represents a new offer from the universe, a fresh outpouring of love, creativity, intuition, and emotional opportunity. This is pure potential in its most undiluted form. What I am seeing with the Ace of Cups for you is that your heart is literally being made new. Everything you went through, all the pain and confusion and loss, it was creating capacity in you. It was clearing out old patterns and beliefs that were blocking you from receiving the love and abundance that has always been meant for you. The Ace of Cups arrives when you are finally ready to hold it, when your cup is clean and empty and open to being filled with something real. I am getting a very specific message here about overflowing blessings. The Ace of Cups does not offer you just enough, it offers you abundance. More love than you expected, more joy than you planned for, more support than you knew was available. For Libra, this card is also deeply connected to your creative and intuitive gifts. Water is the element of emotion and intuition, and the Ace is saying that you are entering a phase where your intuition is going to be incredibly strong. You are going to know things before you know how you know them. You are going to feel pulled toward certain people or opportunities, and I am seeing that you need to trust those pulls. Your inner guidance system got recalibrated through everything you experienced. The people and situations that were not right for you taught you what to avoid. Now your intuition can guide you toward what is right with much more accuracy. I am also picking up that the Ace of Cups is bringing an opportunity that is going to require you to be vulnerable again. To open your heart, to say yes to something new, to take an emotional risk. And I know that might feel scary after what you have been through. But the cards are showing me that this opportunity is aligned with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. It is not going to trigger your old wounds. It is going to honor your healing. The sixth card that came out is Nine of Swords, and I have to be honest. When this card appeared, I paused because it felt like a message the universe really needed you to hear. The Nine of Swords is the card of anxiety, worry, mental anguish. Those nights when you cannot sleep because your mind will not stop spinning. And here is what I think is happening with this card in your reading. It is not a prediction of suffering to come. It is a reflection of what you have been experiencing, and a gentle nudge to recognize that a lot of your worry is not based in present reality. The Nine of Swords shows a person sitting up in bed with their head in their hands, 9 swords hanging on the wall behind them. Those swords represent thoughts, fears, worst-case scenarios playing on repeat in your mind. What I am seeing for you, Libra, is that even as these beautiful cards are showing up promising new beginnings and emotional fulfillment, there's a part of you that is scared to believe it. There is a part of you that is waiting for the other shoe to drop, that is rehearsing disaster. That is protecting itself by imagining every way things could go wrong so that you are prepared if they do. This card is appearing in your reading as a reality check. Most of what you are worried about is not happening. Most of the scenarios you are playing out in your mind at 3 in the morning are not probable. You have been through real difficulty, that was the Tower and the Five of Swords. You know what actual challenges feel like. The Nine of Swords is showing me that now you are battling shadows. You are fighting with projections and possibilities rather than actualities. And I get it, when you have been hurt, when you have seen structures crumble, when you have had to walk away from people you cared about, it makes sense that you would be hypervigilant. It makes sense that you would want to see danger before it arrives. But the Nine of Swords is telling you that this hypervigilance is now becoming its own prison. Here is the specific message I am getting for you. Your mind is trying to protect you by keeping you afraid, because if you stay afraid, you will not take risks. And if you do not take risks, you cannot get hurt again. But you also cannot receive the blessings that are trying to reach you. The Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Ten of Cups, all of that requires you to release the grip of the Nine of Swords. It requires you to choose hope over fear, presence over projection, trust over suspicion. I am not saying you should be reckless or ignore red flags. I am saying that you need to distinguish between actual warning signs and the echoes of past pain. What I am also picking up with this card is that some of you might be experiencing actual sleep disturbances or anxiety symptoms, and if that is the case, this is your sign to take that seriously. Talk to someone, get support. Do not try to white-knuckle your way through mental anguish. The Nine of Swords can sometimes indicate that we need professional help to sort through our thoughts and fears. There is no shame in that. In fact, seeking support is one of the bravest things you can do because it means you are taking your healing seriously. The seventh card that showed up is Five of Cups. And this is another emotional card that is asking you to look at how you are processing loss. The Five of Cups traditionally shows a figure in a black cloak, looking down at 3 spilled cups while 2 full cups stand behind them. The message of this card is always about perspective. Yes, you lost something. Yes, those 3 cups spilled and whatever was in them is gone, but you still have 2 cups standing, and you are so focused on what you lost that you are not seeing what remains. For you, Libra, the Five of Cups is appearing as a reminder that grief is valid, but it should not be your entire story. Whatever or whoever you lost in that Tower moment, whatever you walked away from in that Five of Swords situation, it deserved to be grieved. You are allowed to be sad about it. You are allowed to miss what you thought it was going to be. You are allowed to feel the weight of that loss. But the Five of Cups is also asking you, when are you going to turn around? When are you going to acknowledge the 2 cups that are still standing? When are you going to let yourself see what did not fall apart, what has remained, what is still available to you? I am getting a very specific message here about nostalgia and the stories we tell ourselves about the past. Sometimes when we lose something, especially if the ending was painful or sudden, we have a tendency to romanticize what was lost. We forget the difficult parts, we minimize the problems, we focus only on the good moments and convince ourselves that it was better than it actually was. The Five of Cups is warning you against this. Not because it wants you to harden your heart or become bitter, but because it wants you to see clearly. If you're going to grieve something, grieve the truth of it. Grieve what it actually was, not what you hoped it would become. What I find really interesting is that the Five of Cups is appearing in a reading that also contains the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. This tells me that your emotional life is in a transition period. You are standing at this threshold between the past and the future. The Five of Cups represents looking backward at what was lost. The Ace and the Ten represent looking forward at what is coming. And you get to choose where you direct your attention. The cards are not saying pretend the loss did not happen. They are saying feel it, honor it, learn from it, and then turn around. Let yourself see and receive what is still available to you. The 8th card in your reading is Seven of Wands, and this is such a powerful confirmation of your strength. The Seven of Wands shows a figure standing on high ground, holding a wand defensively while 6 other wands come up from below as challenges or attacks. This is the card of standing your ground, defending your position, holding your boundaries even when you are being tested. And here is what I am seeing for you. Everything you have been through, all the changes and challenges represented by the earlier cards, have been preparing you for this moment of empowerment. The Seven of Wands is telling me that you have found your footing. You know what you stand for now. You know what you will and will not accept. And you are prepared to defend those boundaries even if it means standing alone for a while. What is particularly significant about this card for Libra is that defending boundaries does not come naturally to you. Your instinct is to accommodate, to find compromise, to see all sides of every situation. But sometimes seeing all sides makes it harder to know where you stand. The Seven of Wands is showing me that you have clarity now about your values and your worth. And that clarity is giving you the courage to stand firm. I'm seeing that you might be facing or about to face some challenges or opposition as you step into this new version of yourself. Not everyone is going to like the fact that you are not as easy to manipulate or guilt trip anymore. Not everyone is going to be happy that you have boundaries now. Some people preferred the old version of you that said yes to everything. The Seven of Wands is telling you to expect some pushback and to stand strong anyway. You have the high ground here, meaning you have the advantage, you have the perspective, you have done the inner work. Anyone coming at you now is coming from a lower vibrational place, trying to pull you back down to where you used to be. Do not go. What I am also picking up with this card is a message about competition or comparison. Some of you might be feeling like you are in competition with others, like you have to prove yourself or defend your worth constantly. The Seven of Wands is saying, yes, you do need to stand up for yourself, but you do not need to prove anything to anyone. Your worth is inherent. Your value is not dependent on anyone else recognizing it. Stand your ground because you know your truth, not because you are trying to convince anyone else of it. This is a subtle but important distinction. When you defend yourself from a place of inner certainty rather than outer validation, you become unshakable. The 9th card that appeared is the Fool. And honestly, when this card came out, I felt this surge of excitement because the Fool is pure new beginning energy. This is the card that starts the entire tarot journey, number 0, infinite potential, standing at the edge of a cliff about to step into the unknown. And here is what makes this so perfect for you right now. After everything you have been through, after the destruction and the grief and the standing your ground, you are being given a fresh start. A completely clean slate. An opportunity to begin again with all the wisdom you have gained but none of the baggage you have been carrying. The Fool for you. Libra is permission to be a beginner again. To not have all the answers. To take a leap of faith. To trust the journey even when you cannot see the whole path. I am seeing that you have an opportunity in front of you or coming very soon that is going to require courage. It might be a literal new beginning like a move or a career change or a new relationship. Or it might be more internal like a new way of seeing yourself or relating to the world. Whatever it is, the Fool is saying say yes to it. Even if it feels scary. Even if you cannot predict the outcome. Even if other people think you are crazy, what I love about the Fool appearing in your reading is the element of trust. The Fool steps off the cliff, not because they are reckless, but because they trust in divine timing and universal support. And look at what has been showing up in your cards. The Ace of Cups offering new love. The 10 of Cups promising fulfillment. The Page of Cups bringing fresh possibilities. The universe is literally laying out a path of blessings for you. The Fool is saying you can trust this. You can take that step. You can say yes to what is calling you. I am also getting a message about joy and lightness with this card. The Fool carries very little baggage, just a small knapsack with essentials. This is a message for you to travel light into this new chapter. Leave behind the heavy stories, the resentments, the fears that do not serve you. Take with you only what is essential. Your wisdom, your values, your capacity for love, your authentic self. Everything else can be left at the edge of that cliff. You do not need it where you're going. The 10th and final card in your reading is King of Pentacles, and this is such a grounded, abundant way to close out your reading. The King of Pentacles represents mastery in the material world. Financial stability, manifestation, building something lasting and valuable. After the Fool steps off the cliff into the unknown, the King of Pentacles is where you land. This is showing me that all of this transformation you are going through is not just spiritual or emotional. It is going to have real, tangible results in your life. The King of Pentacles for you is saying that you are stepping into a period of material abundance and practical success. This might show up as career advancement, financial growth, or successfully manifesting something you have been working toward. What I find significant is that this king represents earned abundance. This is not luck or inheritance or something falling into your lap. This is wealth and success that comes from consistent effort, good decisions, and patience. All the qualities you have been developing through this challenging period. I am seeing that you are being called to step into a leadership role or to take charge of your life in a more decisive way. The King of Pentacles knows his worth and does not undervalue himself. He sets fair prices for his services. He negotiates from a place of confidence. He builds structures and systems that support his long-term vision. For Libra, this is about finally owning your value and allowing yourself to be compensated appropriately for what you bring to the table. No more undercharging, no more accepting less than you deserve, no more shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. What is also beautiful about this card is the stability it promises. After the Tower knocked down unstable structures, the King of Pentacles is showing you how to build something that will last. This is about creating security for yourself that is based on your own efforts and resources rather than depending on anyone else. I am seeing some of you making smart financial decisions, starting businesses, investing in yourselves, creating multiple streams of income. The King of Pentacles is practical and strategic, and he is lending you his energy to make wise choices about your material resources. The final message I am getting from this king is about embodiment and being present in the physical world. Libra, you can be quite mental and focused on the realm of ideas and possibilities. The King of Pentacles is reminding you to also tend to your physical reality, your body, your home, your finances, your daily routines. These things matter. They are not separate from your spiritual growth, they are part of it. Take care of yourself in tangible ways. Nourish your body. Create a living space that feels abundant and beautiful. Manage your money with intention. These practical acts are themselves spiritual practices, when done with consciousness and care. So let me bring all of this together for you. Your reading is showing a complete transformation cycle. The Tower cleared away what was not serving you. The Five of Swords showed you standing up for yourself even when it was difficult. The Page of Cups brought the first whispers of new emotional possibilities. The Ten of Cups showed you the fulfillment that is coming. The Ace of Cups offered you a new beginning in love and creativity. The Nine of Swords reminded you not to let fear rob you of your blessings. The Five of Cups asked you to turn around and see what remains. The Seven of Wands showed you defending your new boundaries and values. The Fool gave you permission to take a leap of faith into the unknown. And the King of Pentacles promised that all of this will result in real, tangible abundance and success in your life. Libra, you are not the same person you were when this cycle began. You have been through the fire and you came out refined. You know yourself better. You trust yourself more. You have boundaries now. You have standards. You have a clearer vision of what you actually want rather than what you think you should want. And the universe is responding to this new version of you with opportunities and blessings that match your elevated frequency. The successful beginning that is moving toward you is not just one thing, it is everything. New relationships, creative projects, financial abundance, emotional fulfillment, all of it is coming because you created space for it by releasing what was not working. The powerful revelation is that you are more capable and resilient than you knew. The radical cycle change is complete. You are on the other side of it now, standing in your power, ready to receive everything that has been waiting for you. Trust the journey. Stay open. Keep your boundaries strong. Follow your intuition. And watch as your life transforms in ways that exceed even your highest hopes. The cards do not lie, and they are showing me that your best days are ahead of you. Do any of you feel this energy shifting in your own life? Let me know what resonates with you.